Hello and good morning. It's been a long time since I did one of these. I've been thinking about it. I wake up usually every day about the same time. Lately, I haven't necessarily been doing the same things, but I have the same body alarm that awakens about the same time. Today, I was awakened by quite a few thoughts, and I don't know how I'll get through them, but this is self-therapy, therapeuticizing. It is what it is. It's all, offspring of saying what you mean and meaning what you say. Sometimes you have to be therapeuticized by even the thoughts that create what you say. With that being said, there was a thunder moon, I think it was, this time last year. And it was this time last year that I was preparing for the birth of my newest granddaughter. And I remember planning that trip and arriving and getting there and actually missing the actual birth of my granddaughter. I had all intentions of being there. I actually arrived the day before her due date and was all pumped up and excited and wanted to be there. But during those few days of anticipation, excitement, and even waiting, some way, somehow, and I'll say that now, but I eventually knew what that some way and somehow was. But distraction led me to a lack of focus and even missing what I called the greatest day of at least this decade, which was the birth of my second biological grandchild, and probably the last, because based on my son and his wonderful wife, they are throwing in the towel at 2, which is fine, but I was not there for that date, although I planned to go and was actually there just a few days before. Unlike my first granddaughter, I missed out on the photos and the other family that arrived and the energy that was around that particular campfire. I forfeited it for reasons I won't fully discuss at the moment, maybe eventually. But I left the scene and returned back to from which I came, only to get the news that my granddaughter was actually born on my very own birthday. If I can reflect on the energy of that season, I was being birthed myself into something that I had no idea would be the evolution of where I would find myself right at this very moment. With that being said, I responded to a social media post this morning regarding this season, and I quoted, as I always do, I come up with some rather timely quotes. I stated, Allegedly, we cannot, well, I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember. It's been a few minutes now. I paraphrase. We may not be able to teach an old dog new tricks, but trips to an old dog park can resurrect what is necessary to remain or return to man's best friend. I said that to say, I guess the reason I am sharing this particular moment, it's because I use the example of a dog. Dogs have so many tricks inside of them. As I remember Buster Jr. and Shorty, the most recent dogs that I was fortunate to share a life with. Dogs are always excited, but time and sometimes, I don't even want to say a wrong environment, but time and a different environment will cause dogs to not be able to live their fullest potential. As you know the story about the flea. If you place a flea into a jar and he learns to only jump to the lid of that jar, he's not necessarily living his fullest potential. And he will, evolve into thinking that's his limit. Just like dogs. You see some dogs on leashes, some off leashes. You see some dogs in the doggy park that are well behaved. And then you see those tyrants that you have to actually get rescued by the Humane Society, the dog catcher, as we would call it, and even some dogs that have to be put down because of their trainers and the way they were handled. Which brings me to my point. Sometimes, as full-grown, sound-minded adults, we will place ourselves in the presence of handlers, for lack of a better word, caregivers, for even a different word, and ultimately those we trust that for whatever reason, maybe they don't know any better, maybe they have ill intentions, or maybe I just won't say why. But sometimes when we find ourselves in certain environments, we can not necessarily be on the path of our greatest or best experiences. And it's called trusting. I don't think anyone should live a life of where we don't trust anyone, especially if it's due to fear. If we need to be cautious, then by all means, take your time, be cautious, examine situations, circumstances, even people, before we totally commit or submit. It's just the wise thing to do. But when we find ourselves in the presence, whether it's on our job, in certain family situations, or even relationships where we are possibly displaced, it will show based on the decisions we make and our energy, our nervous system, new word I learned, will let us know when we're in the right dog park or not, or in the hands of the most effective or sufficient trainers, handlers, caregivers, because of the results we see. Of course, at some point in time, when we come to ourselves, we have to make different choices and decisions. With that being said, I will close with, when we learn and grow It's for a reason. And sometimes we miss out on golden moments when we're distracted. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing on this particular day, ask yourself this question. Are you in the right plans? Not plans necessarily. Are you in the right place? Are you in the right company? Are you in the right soil? Are you making the best and right decisions? If you are, then good. If you're not, time will tell. You can look back even on yesterday, last week, last month, to see your pattern. And if by chance you're not developing, you see yourself making choices and decisions that are not beneficial for your ultimate plan of growth, plan of maturity, and even choices that will affect those around you. Repentance and change is always there as long as you can breathe in and breathe out. We have an opportunity to grow and change. Don't miss the forest for being too distracted by the trees. That's what I'll close on. No, maybe you can't teach an old dog new tricks. However, the right trainer can make a very big difference. The right environment definitely makes all the difference in the world. And of course, the right support can bring any person new life. And on a sidebar note, for those who have been wondering where I've been in recovery. I had a minor accident that required minor surgery, and I've been in recovery. Just because I've been silent doesn't mean I haven't been making noise. I've been practicing music and actually rehearsing with a band and creating some other wonderful things that are on the way. So I've been a little quiet, reflecting and recovering physically, psychologically, mentally, and emotionally. But I'm good, I promise. There's another live stream I'm going to do about evolving and stabilizing. Whole nother subject. But anyway, just thought I'd throw that in before I take off. Anyway, thanks for your prayers and support. But I'm only 4 or 5 more days away from being totally back to normal, and I look forward to returning to exercise in particular and normal life. So again, thanks for your prayers, but don't worry, I'm good, I promise. Find someone you need to say I love you to. Don't just say it, show it, mean it, let it be true. And even if that love is rejected for whatever reason, wipe the dirt off your feet and keep on trucking, baby. Ciao.